Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. When it comes to the discarding process from the narcissist involved in your life, it's not always what you think it's about. You see, your immediate reaction will take you to think that they're not interested, right? But a lot of the times, many of you have been discarded, and the narcissist that is involved in your life is pushing you away to pull you further back in. You see, it's like the hot and cold method. They may have done this throughout the relationship to you, right? Where they go cold on you, they pull away, right? But it's actually an operation to bait you, to draw you back in. So that's one of the possibilities of why you've been discarded, right? There's also other alternatives. You know, sometimes narcissists get an inflated sense of self. Being around a chosen one, an empath, for a long period of time or extended period of time, or any amount of time in general, really, you know, can make them get an inflated sense of self, and they believe that they can get this treatment anywhere they go. They get a bit hasty and they make radical decisions, and they discard you thinking that they can go on with their lives, and you know, they can find something better. Another alternative is that they were caught in a new supply during the time when the relationship was going on with you. But with this instance, you know, you need to take into an account the relationship, you know, was getting fueled. This new relationship or new supply that they were entertaining was getting fueled off the back of your relationship with the narcissist, right? So what you need to understand is, regardless of how this is taking place, you know, even if a narcissist has pushed you away, right, to draw you back in closer, right, or a narcissist, you know, narcissist is going cold on you, pushing you away to pull you back in, or a narcissist thinks that they can do better, so they cut you off, or a narcissist has actually got a new supply at the time and goes through the discard. All of these discards, right, or reverse discards even, right, all of these discards are taking place because the narcissist that was involved in your life is not valuing you to the standard of what they should value as, right, you as. You see, they're not giving you the respect you deserve. In all examples that I gave, they're not giving you the respect you deserve. And the thing is when a narcissist discards you, if you don't chase, you don't pursue them, you let them get on with their lives, even if you have tried to reconcile, or you, like, it's a natural inclination for the chosen one, the empath, to try and reconcile, to try and fix the relationship. If you fall back as soon as possible, right, as soon as you can, right, it doesn't really matter, but as soon as you can, and you just let them get on with it, right, and you take the discard gracefully, you just take it as what it is. The narcissist has discarded you. You know this information like I've given you. They could be pushing you away because they want to reel you back in closer. They want to try and initiate and ignite some more supply from you, you know. They think that they can get something better, you know, because they've got an inflated sense of self from all of the potent supply you gave, or they were caught in and taming a new supply at the same time when they're in a relationship with you, you know. All of them, all of these instances, you know, then they're not showing you the respect that you ultimately deserve, right? So if you let them just get on with it, right, the narcissist is going to go through a cycle, right? Yes, it may be very hurtful for you, but there's slightly different dynamics, right? When you're the one who's been discarded, you go through the immediate hurt. I'm talking to you now. You've been the one that's been discarded. You go through the immediate hurt. You go through the immediate pain, right? Everything's sudden. It was unexpected. You may not have noticed it was coming. You may not have been aware of it. There may have been a few signs or indicators, but generally speaking, it took you by surprise, this discard, and it can hurt you a lot, right? You know, it can hurt you a lot going through it. So, but the thing is it's not that time heals, but as time proceeds, right? Imagine when they finally discard you for any of these instances, like I mentioned, when they finally go through with this discard, you know, they feel relieved. And I'm not trying to trigger any of you now, but they do feel slightly relieved, right? Whether it's, like I mentioned, them pushing you away to draw you back in, they feel relieved. They want to push you away. They want space. They want to push you away, right? So you come back harder, right? Whether it's they want to try and look for something new, right? Because they think they can find something better or whatever. You know, they feel relieved because they're setting out on their journey. Or whether it's because they're going with a new supply. You know, they're relieved so they can go off with their new supply, okay? Now, what actually happens is, so you're in a position of hurt, they feel relieved, right? But there's something called absence makes the heart grow fonder, and that's why I'm telling you it's crucial that you do not contact them, you stay in no contact, you leave them to do what they're doing. You know, if you have children with them, interact with them to the bare minimal. You know, use parallel parenting apps, things of that nature, if you have to have communication with them for the children's sake. Other than that, you know, don't have any connection with them at all, you know, and let them get on with their lives and let them feel relieved, right? Because it's going to be very short-lived. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Just like this video showing up for you, help it show up for someone else in the community that may be in a time of need, and it will help with the algorithm to push the content to those that want to see the content or need to see the content. So they're going to feel relieved, right? But it's very short-lived. Okay? You know, for example, if they're the one that pushed you away, you know, they're the one that pushed you away to try and draw you back in, and they see you not, you know, begging for them back, pleading for them back, you know, desperately pursuing them. You know, even if you did for a time, they see you back away, you know, that's going to make them curious, you know. They're not getting what they anticipated, you know. So that relief that they felt from pushing you away and their anticipation of you rushing back in, and you don't fulfill that role of begging for them back or pursuing them, right? That lets them down, so they have to go through that, right? Which is they take a knock from that, you know. If they've gone back out into the world, back out into the dating scene, and they've met someone, or they soon start to realize that these people aren't at your level, you know, or even if they've got a new supply, you know, that relationship was built off the back of your relationship. You know, that's the only thing that was keeping them ticking over, or was energizing that relationship. Them and the new supply was because of, you know, the relationship being destroyed on your end of things, right? So they start to feel like, you know, from that relief that they immediately felt, and you being in a really broken place, you're starting to, you know, heal. You know, you're starting to come to terms with it. And imagine it like at the beginning, when they first discarded you, they was at one end and you was at the other end of the table, right? But you're progressing along the table, but they're moving slowly back towards you see. So they go far away from you, but they're starting to come back, right? and eventually you will cross over, right? And that's when the revaluing starts to kick in, right? So they start, then once you cross over, you've gone past them now. They're crossing over, going to the other side of the table. You know, they're facing things like the new supply's not working out. You're not chasing after them. You know, life's not how they anticipated it. The grass wasn't greener on the other side. You know, they've got all these things. So they start grieving the relationship, the loss of the relationship after, right? You see, you grieve the relationship initially when it took you by surprise, when they first discarded you, when you first went through that, right? But they start grieving the relationship after. Now, on a timeline scale, this could happen if you back away straight away. You know, this could happen quite very quickly. This could, you know, them starting to grieve the relationship could possibly happen in a month or a few months. They'll start, or even a few weeks, right? If you've backed away and you've just let them get on with it, you've showed no resistance and you've backed, you know, you've let them get away, just let them get on with it. You know, that they'll get a realization that they kind of fucked up, basically. If you pursued them and begged for them back, that will delay the process. That's all that will happen. It will delay the process of them getting this realization. That's all that happens when you pursue a narcissist or beg for a narcissist back, is it just delays the inevitable you know, hurt that they start grieving the relationship loss. You know, all it does is delay that inevitable grieving that they're going to start to go through. But the thing is they've made life more complicated now, right? They've gone on with new supplies, or, you know, they've done this for a game to push you away, to make you chase after them. So they get, you know, they're stubborn. They're the one that cut you off. They're the one that discarded you, right? They're stubborn. Now they're grieving the relationship. Now they're revaluing you. Now they're seeing what you're worth. Now they're seeing how much of a blessing you was. And they're going through all this in their minds. And it's like, you're on your way to healing. Like, you're healing. You know, you're still struggling maybe from day to day a little bit. And, you know, you're wondering a little bit. You know, you know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But you're getting through the day and you're getting through the nights. And, you know, you're getting on with your healing, right? But they're going through that grieving process, that original grieving process that you went through instantaneously, that took you by surprise when you were first discarded. They're feeling the absence of the relationship and a void in their life, and they're going through that grieving process now, right? That's what happens. So, you know, like I said, you know, a month to 3 months, they'll start going through that grieving process. They won't feel the relief no more from the discard. They won't feel like the grass is greener on the other side. They, you know, they realize they're standing on astroturf and they're not on greener grass. You know, life hasn't opened up for them the way they anticipated. Life hasn't worked out the way they planned this discard would work out. In any of the scenarios that I mentioned, you know, that it hasn't worked out in their favor. And they begin to grieve for the chosen one, the empath, you know, and they may become desperate and, you know, try and monkey branch to other supplies, or discard the new supply and go to another new supply, and they'll soon start to grieve even more when you know, even they can't find this supply source that they used to get with you. You know, this makes their grieving process even harder. You know, then they've got the memories of you. They have fond memories of you. Remember, you done nothing wrong, right? The thing is about you in your healing journey is you think they're a piece of shit. Basically, that's your view of them, you know? Or at least a lot of you, many of you will be like, you know, they didn't give you the respect you deserve. They didn't give you the closure you needed. They didn't treat you fair and justly. They didn't. They done it disrespectfully to discard. You know, so like you're not really. You haven't got warm feelings towards them. but they have warm feelings to you, and that never really died. That doesn't really die, because you didn't do anything wrong, right? The discard come for a surprise for you. They may have told you, and I should have probably said this earlier on in the video, they may have told you that they discarded you because of this reason, or because you done that, or you didn't do enough, or you done this. They'll tell you all of these reasons why they discarded you, right? None of these reasons are valid. None of these reasons are the real reason why they're doing this action of a discard, right? That's a motive to make you self-destruct, to make you blame yourself for the discard, to make your grieving even harder. And I really should have said that earlier on, but that's why they'll tell you all of these reasons. You didn't do enough, you treated me badly, or they'll tell you all these things. So you start going through in your mind, like, feeling bad, and as the empath you are, feeling guilty that you should have done this, or you done that, or you made a mistake. All these things are bullshit. Like I said to you, remember what I said to you, right? This narcissist had a motive to either push you away, to draw you in, to convert your supply source, make you one of desperate, begging for them back and all of that, trying to, inject, a spike of supply into you, so you start providing them more supply, even if it's negative supply of you chasing after them, or, like I said, about them thinking that they can find better or do better because they've got an inflated sense of self, because they're used to the supply source that they gave you, and they think they can get somewhere else in the world, so they discard you. Or because they have an actual new supply, and they think this new supply, the grass is greener, and then they realize the grass isn't greener, and that quickly fades, So what I'm saying is they will go through this process of grieving you, because you didn't actually do nothing wrong. None of those things they told you were the real reasons why they discarded you, So don't believe them for a second. But they want to try and plant that into your head to make you think that's the reason they discarded you. Please, none of you believe what they said to you about the discard or the reason for the discard, right? You just need to know, if you tried your best by this person, you love this person, you cared for this person, then it's highly likely, that the reason they're telling you this discard occurred is a lie, right? And this is why they go through the grieving process even more. It's even more intense, because they haven't actually got a plausible reason to dislike you, right? And also, even if there was some things that irritated, you irritated them in a certain way, or something like that, or they felt irritated by you, even if, it wasn't actually something you did or done, it was just your presence around them, they felt irritated by you, right? There's, even if there was things that, okay, even if there was things that you done wrong, right? Or they had a problem with. Maybe you didn't do something wrong, but they had a problem with, or they had an issue, because narcissists like to make issues out of stuff, right? And they discarded you for this particular reason, right? Don't shoot yourself down. Don't make your head jump through hoops and making your mind do somersaults with that stuff. They make problems out of nothing, right? But these problems that they presented for a discard, or to justify a discard, there's something called the fade and effect bias, right? And the fade and effect bias is things that annoyed you, or made you feel bad, or irritated you, or whatever, right? So from the narcissist perspective, there's something called the fade and effect bias, and that fades after several weeks, right? So after several weeks, right, this will kick in their minds, the fade and effect bias over the several weeks, you know. But from the after several weeks, it will start to intensify more and more, and those reasons that they felt were valid or plausible for doing a discard now don't seem sufficient in their minds, in their own minds, and that's something they'll deal with. And that's what I'm saying. Even if there was something that this narcissist was saying the discard was over towards you, that fades, you know. So they're still gonna go through the revaluing your view, you know, grieving your relationship, you know. It becomes meaningless, right? And for many of you, these discards were actually, they didn't even have a real reason to discard you. They didn't really have a motive, not a motive from not something that you done wrong. A lot of the times you didn't actually, there was nothing, you know, and this is why, even if there was something that irritated them from you, or it was an agenda, like I said, where they're trying to push you away, or they felt like they could do better in life, or they had a new supply, you know, they begin to re-idolize you. They begin to revalue you because there's not a valid reason for them for the discard. There's not a valid reason, right? You know, and the fade and effect bias will even affect them as well. On you know, they may have had some underlying issues with you or anything like that. Maybe unspoken words, or you know, things they didn't even say. You know, the fade and effect bias kicks in all of these discards, right? Remember, like, personally, this is just a thesis or my theory. I think it's actually easier for the one who has been discarded than it is for the narcissist, who does the discarding, right? Initially, they feel liberated. They feel, you know, free, and they feel in a good space. Initially, you're the complete opposite. You're hurt, you're broken, you're suffering. But, you know, the dynamics begin to shift right around. You know, the dynamics begin to shift right around. You start to get on with your healing. You start to progress. You know, they realize that there's no supplies. The new supplies aren't working out. They realize that they're baiting operation, trying to reel you back in and make you desperate and beg for them and convert you to a negative source of supply. Didn't work. You know, they realize the grass isn't green on the other side. You know, they begin to have the fade and effect bias kicking in. Then they begin grieving the relationship, you know, and then they begin to realize the value that you had, you know, and they start to revalue you, you know. And revalue means reevaluation, you know. It's a revaluation of something. It's an assessment of something of a revaluation. You know, they're reassessing something that they looked at as not worthy, and now they're seeing it as valuable. That's what revalue means, right? That's what's happening, and that's what goes on in their minds, right? This is what happens to them, right? This even happens in non-narcissistic relationships, but this happens in narcissistic relationships as well. And narcissists are not, you know, devoid of feeling these emotions. These emotions affect narcissists, right? If anything, it affects them more because a lot of their reasons for doing a discard are not justified, are not worthy. You know, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, you wasn't abusive to them. You were loyal to them. You were loving to them. You were kind. You were supportive. You were a good partner towards them, you know? So they fucked up the relationship. And that's something that they grieve very deeply, you know? So just understand that this narcissist that has evolved in your life, even if they haven't told you, or even if they haven't hoovered you yet, they're going through this re-idolization and this revaluing in their minds of you, the former supply. And even if they've got a new supply, the new supply is not cutting it. The new supply is not worthy, you know? And, you know, this is what makes narcissists revalue you after discarding you. So anyway, if you want access to a gallery of exclusive unseen videos and a chance to reach out to me personally for your video request ideas you have, there's a 3-day free trial that can be easily cancelled at any time by going to your account page. All video requests are processed and uploaded within 24 hours from when requests were submitted. A link to the Zion membership website should appear on your screen now. Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you would like to donate or support to the channel, you can always find the link in the description box. For more spiritual-based narcissism content, check out the other channel, links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you in your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you are struggling, need advice, or want some light shed on your situation. Talking to someone who understands really helps. The Empath monthly group meeting is coming up on the 28th of this month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email crisis support. If you need advice and a plan of action, you can always reach out. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. If you'd like to know more about no need to stress, miss, or worry about the narcissist, you can have another one by tonight. They're everywhere. Click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.